Contamination of rivers. In our community, there is a well-known problem that is the contamination of rivers. In this case, the most famous is the Lerma River. This river is highly polluted because factories work near to this river. Some solutions have been implemented, but no one have been applied well. Even though the government of the affected town uh, have called the attention to these companies, but the damage caused can hardly be fully resolved. And if a lot of industrial waste continue to be dumped, the animals and crops will be affected. And if we continue throwing a lot of garbage into the river, we will damage the ecosystem and that will cause diseases. And finally, if too many chemicals continue to be spilled, the water in the future will become scarce. So there is here we have the solution problem to the problem.
Solution project. As we know, the damage to the river is done, but to avoid continuing to contribute to the problem, we must talk about this problem and how to solve it with people, even if they don't want, and it is necessary because it is serious. In the same way, we need to talk with the energy companies. So in this way, raising awareness that no was garbage in the river. We will reduce this impact. Deforestation. Another certain problem that the communities where we live have is the population that dropped. This caused that some territories need to be urbanized, and finally this generates deforestation. This problem is very important, but it is necessary to make people aware of urbanization and importance of green areas. Even though many of the green areas near to the dome have been reduced reduced by 50% in the last 10 years, but still the population does not pay attention to the problem and many important green areas will be urbanized. The great demands on homes and shopping centers have caused many of the green areas disappears and many of the animals and plants that live it near disappears too. If we continue cutting the trees, the ecosystem will be altered. If urbanization is not controlled, many green space will be lost. And finally, if land is burned, carbon dioxide will increase in dose.
The solution project. As we know, this is a very big problem, and in the future, action should be taken where people need to be aware to don't have too many children and preserve natural resources above all. Finally, create campaigns to prevent uh, burning land and make conscience of cleaning without using fire and some chemicals. So in this way, in the future, it will be possible to solve this big problem. And finally, we have global warming. This is another problem that affects our community, the global warming. This is a very important problem, even in our towns where we live. Many gases are emitted by the companies, but uh, but only But not only companies contribute to this problem, also people generate a lot of waste. This problem is very important because we all participate, even the children. Most of the people don't have enough education to become aware and help the environment. We only damage it. Not having an education and how to care of the environment creates more problems that are seen in our communities, such as climate change, heavy rains, and even floods. So if we don't reduce industrial activities, we will generate climate change. And if we don't control the use of our cars, temperatures will continue to rise up. And finally, if we don't stop deforestation, we will change many ecosystems and we will generate change in the environment. Finally, we have the solution project.
Solution project. This problem can be solved with a 9-4 that is necessary to raise awareness in people, require support through the government with programs to reduce gas emissions, avoid deforestation, and reduce industrial activity. So in this way, we reduce and avoid climate change in your community, so that it is necessary to act now.
So these were all the problems. Thank you for your attention.